Hey, welcome. Happy sunshiny President's Day. Well, it's the end now that I'm recording this, but I hope you enjoyed your sunshiny President's Day. Just one blip of sun, a taste of the spring right before the next weather advisory hits tomorrow. Anyways, I hope the class has been going well for you. I did notice that our Flipgrid numbers have been going down. That's okay for now. I mean, you want to get those in there. Those who haven't responded, I noticed there were 70 introductions and we were down to, let's see, I'll tell you what we were down to on Flipgrid. 50 videos with history of tobacco. We had 52 with the worst mistake. So it looks like there's a few people from the 70 that gave an introduction. I'll get that down. What these are is in the syllabus. These will be like your discussion quizzes. All right. But anyway, we'll get back to that. All I want to say is I've been enjoying watching your videos and hearing your input. Some of you have given some really thoughtful responses, and I feel engaged with you, and it's personal. The comments on taxation. A few of you need to catch up to speed on some of the tobacco and taxation, but for the most part, I really appreciated the research and the effort you guys put into that Flipgrid discussion. So now that we have this historical backdrop upon which to approach food security, we can understand a little better and appreciate a little better the various sprockets, I should say, or gears that turn in the nation and the world to make food, to distribute food, and to make sure people have food. And just having food is not the only major issue. The quality of food is what we're going to be getting into now, and really defining food insecurity. So that's where we're headed. But when you understand that society and civilization began and flourished around, excuse my bearware, society flourished and was developed around not just rivers and major water supplies and good land, but that became so because of the agriculture, not just because of the water itself. It's what the water allowed. It allowed for an agricultural lifestyle. So that's where you begin to see development of large civilizations in history going back to 400,000 years ago. So that was the Neolithic Revolution, or what was really the first agricultural revolution, when we begin to find, we can see tools and things made, and people began to settle down in colonies. So you have that all the way up until, again, the birth of our own nation, and you got to learn a little bit about the role of tobacco in getting the United States, or the colonies anyway, off the ground, the role of the potato coming from South America and what it did for Europe. So food has a major role in just the functioning of successful society, and everything, as many of you pointed out, kind of stems from that point on. Let me turn this off. So I hope, again, we learn and appreciate that little bit of history. Not to send you to the competitor. They're not a competitor. They're a helper, actually. Ozarks Technical Community College, OTC, has a course in agricultural history. So it really fleshes out that whole topic of ag history, and becomes a history of America and history of the world. Rich stuff. Really applicable. So we have that history, and some good decisions, some bad. Whether you like them or not, we learn from them and we move on. And you're going to learn that even as we continue to go through this course, which brings me to the schedule coming up. So here I have on Blackboard, many of you have seen it already, but Service Learning Assignment Guidelines. So you click on that, read through it. Organization lists and names are there. I believe even Missouri State's own volunteer opportunities. Remember, you can do all 4 hours at once. You can do it in 2 chunks, and or you can do it at 2 different places, 2 hours in one, 2 hours at the other, in contacting the supervisors of the volunteer regions. So you want to get a jump on that. The due date that I have for that, you should have completed, pardon me, and I'll get this to you on an email, but you should have, and now maybe I didn't even write it down for myself, a couple, I believe it's 29. Yeah, you want to have your volunteer hours for service learning project done by April 29. But before that, I want to know where you're going to do it. So hopefully by March 1st. By March 1st, drop me a line. Actually, I'll start a list. I'll start a list on Blackboard in the groups or discussions, and you can start tagging in your with your name where you plan to do your service learning project at. I want you to declare by March 1st. Then that gives you maybe a couple weeks from now to get that squared away, and then you have 2 months to actually perform that service and then have that presentation or paper begin to be typed up and written up. Okay, and again, more details on times and dates as that comes. So do read through this and begin thinking about that. Unit 1 is about done, so click on Unit 2, and what you see here, some of you might have already started this. Good job. So it kind of sets the tone for the global food crisis, and what we're getting at is what really fleshing out this food security. And let me go ahead and record, put myself here. So she talks a lot about the quality calories. She does not want to go with the mantra of the 2050. How are we going to feed 2050? That's been the slogan since 2005. Well, things have changed in the last 10 years, and she talks about a little bit of that. What's the answer? And it's not just having calories, but you want quality. Posing that as if vegetables aren't the answer. It's a short article. I want you to read this and try to synthesize a view given what each of these say. All right, and that will probably be the next discussion. That'd be also doing a couple weeks from now, and I'll post that assignment up. But begin thinking about, as you watch this video and you read this article, what is the synthesis? How are we going to unify these two views, which seemingly sound right? You are welcome to do more research outside of these two. And then here's the PowerPoint on food insecurity. Here's my YouTube. You know, as I still learn how to lecture online, I recommend you watch this, say a few things. It's a little rough, but you're a patient crowd. Copy and paste this into your browser. It's about a 27-minute lecture. It has an abrupt beginning because I had about 3 minutes of intro that I just cut out of there. So when you turn it on, I start right away. Anyway, if you just want the notes and the PowerPoint, that's right here, food insecurity. The next one that'll be posted is not shown yet. It'll be the response to food insecurity, and that's some of the things that I brought up in that first one of how our nation is addressing it as your human right to food, and not only just food, but healthy food and choices that are accessible to you. We'll have those government responses in the next PowerPoint or lecture, which will come next week. So given this video, this reading, and there's about 3 more, there's 2 10-minute videos and about 2 short 2 to 3 minute videos in here. So all in all, I think you have enough to think about as you prepare not only to look for volunteer opportunities, but just to watch the videos and the lecture. Again, nothing is due at this moment in this week. This is all just information. Next week there'll be another posting of the response to food insecurity. More information. And about the end of that week is when we'll have the discussion up for your thoughts on these 2 videos. I hope that helps. Just to kind of tell you. So this is going to be a long unit. After we get through this food insecurity and response, we're going to start looking at factors that affect growing food or producing food. So soil, land, water, quality, biodiversity. We'll wrap up with that. And the next unit exam will not be until, it looks like April 8th. So we have a little over a month. So there's going to be a lot of information. And as we go on, of course, spring break is during that time. That's also to give you time to get those observations done and to be able to write up or record a presentation. I'm going to put up a YouTube tutorial if you don't know how to film yourself with a phone. and post to YouTube. I'm going to send a tutorial out or post it here. And so you'll have the option of telling us. It's kind of like what would be your class presentation, or even how to do what I'm doing right here. It's not very difficult. I'm started learning at the beginning of this semester as I taught you, and well, it's as simple as a PowerPoint and my face talking. So you can do that too if you like. And think about whether you want to write a 2-page response or whether you want to write or give about a 2 to 5 minute presentation. All right, that's been 10 minutes of instructions. Looking forward to this new unit. I got some really exciting things, I think. We hear a lot of stuff from social media. We hear a lot of stuff from the news and from one side of the argument. I think you're in for a small surprise and a treat to hearing some from some of the typical arguments, say for the greenhouse effect and global climate change and CO2 production. I think you're going to be interested to learn about some of the potential solutions to overgrazing and the loss of land and desertification of land as we try to produce more food for more people. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Enjoy semester. Hope your other classes are going well. And stay safe, stay warm. Have a very merry winter.